Let me ask you a question. Think of all the Gacha games you played on their first patch. Which 5-star characters left the biggest impression on you? Was it Venti from Genshin Impact for his extremely insane crowd control? Or maybe Verena from Wuthering Waves for her insane healing and support that carried people to endgame with the worst builds you've ever seen? Or maybe any 1.0 featured DPS like Zilla or Ellen from Honkai Star Rail or Zenless Zone Zero. What if I told you you can have all of that in one character? And I am not joking. Today we're looking at potentially the most busted character I ever seen in a gacha game, Jueyuan, from Neverness to Everness. Don't let this bombshell figure deceive you. This is arguably one of the strongest kits you've ever seen on the character. And did I mention this is a standard character? Let's go over her kit so we can make a lot more sense of what's going on. First, her basic attack is a 5-hit combo that grants her 2 stacks of Rhodes bullets and establishes a lethal Rhodes pact when the final attack connects. Additionally, if you dodge an attack and perform a counterattack, this will also give 2 Rhodes pact bullets and establish a lethal Rhodes pact. This lethal Rhodes pact lasts for 25 seconds and deals constant damage over time while active, and after 5 seconds, enemies will be able to enter a pact settlement state. For her skill, Jueyuan dashes across the battlefield, pulling all enemies into a group and deals damage while granting herself 4 Rhodes pacts, and all enemies hit will establish a lethal Rhodes pact. As for her ultimate, Jueyuan will dash around shooting all enemies and executing all settlements. In other words, popping all of her damage over time effects. If some characters come into mind, I don't even blame you. Anyways, this in itself is very strong, but let's move to what makes this extremely busted, aka awaken abilities. Some of you may be looking the other way, and to be fair, I highly doubt this ability makes it to the final release because whoever created this clearly didn't realize how busted this is. We will ignore all the other ones since most of them are just more damage. That's whatever. Let's look at her second ability since that's the real moneymaker. It increases her lethal Rhodes pact damage ratio by 100%, so 2x on her damage over time effects. But read that second line. Restores HP to the entire team equal to 20% of the total damage accumulated by the Rhodes pact whenever pact settlement is triggered. So each time you pop a dot, you heal. Also, let me mention one small thing. For her basic attack, by holding down the basic attack, you can consume your Rhodes bullets, which will automatically target enemies with the lethal Rhodes pact and activate pact settlements. So you have 2 ways to force constant healing via holding her basic attack and her ultimate. And fun fact, if you read her combat role, it states that she's a burst DPS with control. But in reality, she's a burst DPS, main DPS, control, healing, damage over time. Who the hell created this monster? But let's take her into a fight so we can really see how dumb this is. Now, I first want to show you a little clip of what mobbing is going to look like with this character. Now, you may notice my health is extremely low because skill issues and I got hit. But you can see once you go into the formula of her rotation, she kind of just plays herself and I'm back to full health. I don't understand how that's fair, but you kind of just cycle through this over and over. Now you may notice my character at the bottom says 50. She's level 50 at this point. Unfortunately, I was not able to hit level 60. I think most people hit that point if you started day 1, but I unfortunately ended up starting on day like 5 or something, so I got late access to the beta. But still, even at level 50 with the 25 level gap, she kind of makes easy work of these enemies and controls the battle like it's nobody's business by herself. As you may notice, I am not using any other characters because she plays like 20 different roles by herself, so why use a team? Now, some of you might be wondering, her kit's all about control, she kind of groups the enemies together, wouldn't she be bad at bossing? And you know what? That's a fair point. Let's go look at her against the bosses. So we'll be going into the Spiral Abyss equivalent, Memory Chaos, hardest mode, last boss. Enemies are level 82. I am level 50. Now, we do have a little like emblem that gives us a bonus by her being the only member of the party. I use this because she does everything by herself anyway, so might as well just put her as a solo character. And we're fighting against the Black Tomb, as you can see, level 82. Now, as you can see here, it's still the same mantra. We're just face tanking the boss damage while we're actively being healed by the damage over time effects. I mean, she's level 50, bro. I don't know. Can you remember Venti doing this, Verena doing this by themselves? Like, if you don't think this is the most broken gacha character you ever seen, then I don't know what standard level you're at. But you got to keep in mind that most of the time you're expected to play in a party, and she's out here doing the party. This is literally an anime right now. There's an anime called like Jack of All Trades, I think. I don't talk about anime much, but she's really out here doing all the roles in a full team by herself, healing, damage, supporting herself. It's utterly insane, and I've just never seen a character that's busted. Now, do I believe that she needs massive nerfs? No, not really. I think most of her kit is fine. Power creep is going to, even things out over time. I think the biggest issue is the healing. Oh my god, why is he healing this much? So to give more context, as you can see, my second team has 4 characters. I ended up running Edgar, which is a healer, because I was having issues on the other team with sustain. I wasn't able to do enough damage to kill the enemies quick enough because I'm so heavily outclassed in the level department. So I decided to bring a healer to help Nanali have more on-field presence so that she can deal more damage. If you don't know who Nanali is is the limited character of the banner. Think of her as your Azila, your Ellen. She's the rate up limited character, so she's very powerful, but she doesn't have any type of sustain, so she needs help if you're getting bombed in the head left and right. And that's the point of Edgar, who is a new healer, to heal her so that she can take damage. The issue with Edgar, though, is that his healing is like a fourth of what Zhu Yuan can do. He heals roughly 800 to 1,000 every second, compared to Zhu Yuan, who can full heal you in a click. How's that fair? I don't know. It's like he has a Bennett type field, and that field, while it's okay, it doesn't buff you, it only heals you. So I would like to see him a little bit stronger, make him like a Bennett, but the healing amount is just not enough to sustain the like 8,000 damage I'm taking per hit because the enemies outclass my characters by so much. But when you look at Zhu Yuan and she just goes from 2,000 health back to 15k in one click, or 2,000 health back to 20k in one click, it's so absurd of how much healing output she can do at level 50. Keep in mind, this is level 50. If she was a higher level, she'd be doing more damage, bigger number, better person. But let me know, what do you think of this character? Do you think she's broken beyond belief? Is her awakening always the only issue? Do you think anything else in her kit should be changed around? Personally, I don't. I think she's pretty okay if you just tone down the healing. I mean, you can completely remove it, but I kind of like the healing portion of it. To be honest, low-key, I hope they don't touch her at all. I hope they just miss this video completely and they're like, release her in the same state so that I can make the video this is the most broken character on release. That's what I hope, because she's busted. But if they do catch on and they realize how strong she is, it's likely she will be nerfed, because I don't think one character should be doing this much by herself, right? Even though she's hot, and I would prefer my hot character to stay broken. But that's going to be all for this video. NTE should be releasing later this year. I think the release date is in May, so hopefully we'll get a full idea what the character is going to be. I don't expect them to do any more beta, so what we have now, we should be expecting on the final release with a small patches here and there. Maybe they'll add a little bit more story, because the story has been the same between the last 2 betas I've played. I'm looking forward to trying it out. If you are also going to play NTE, let me know in the comments down below. If you played the beta, what were your impressions of the beta? Personally, I noticed that they did downsize a lot of the beta in terms of like the content, and compared to the previous beta. I may do a video talking about that, but thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you enjoy this type of content, and I will catch you on my next video.